you want to write that in, you can. And let's just have a quick run of what we did last time with And the Glory to get a bit more warmed up. Let me see the orange of your scores. And we're not quite getting there for the diction at the moment. It needs to come across to me, and I'm not miles down the back of Romsey Abbey. 38, coming on. You know it's hard to trust them. Someone else can have that motif. You're copying the bases at the moment. Okay. Altos, can I hear you from dead on that? Together at the end of our 55, and 1, 2. Carry on. Entries on that and so that was bar 59 and 65. You need to take care of those first notes. Okay, so a little bit squeaky about. Carrying on, here's 73, everyone. 73 and go. Doesn't go down to the D sharp, it goes down to the C sharp. Could you just sing that 3 times in a row for me? So this is the last bar of 16. 2, 3, 1. And more flesh. One more time, and go. And more flesh. And one more time, and go. And more flesh. Excellent. I'm not getting enough eye contact from you tenors on your entries. At the moment, it's maximum 2 out of you that are watching me. Even the basses have a better percentage.
Yeah. We saw through that one.
93, please. Surprise. And then tennis picking up. Low, Lord, in the midst. 2, 3, go. So you will sit at that point, and also at that point, if you'd mind turning your copies towards page 35, that would be particularly useful. Seems like a long way, doesn't it? So the bass does a bit of reciting, the alto sings about some fire, and then the soprano doesn't sing about any fire. So if you are following, you'll see at the bottom of page 27, they have their cadence, and then that leads straight into us on page 35, okay? So we have the cadence going jump, 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 jump. Equally as good as the previous attempt. So you can't be surprised by it. You've got to have thought about it for the last minute of the solo. So now we're heading towards purify as our first point. We shall purify.
But he shall purify, and he shall purify the sons of men.
We shall purify, and we shall
altos, can we pick you up in bar 9? And every time any of you get these semiquavers, can you please just keep singing through with the volume? The strings will give the definition of all the notes. You don't need to worry about making them completely accurate. We need to get the character and the sound quality out. That's kind of our priority at this stage. So altos. 3, 4, 1, and 2.
and we shall purify the
the orchestras help you more. Okay, so we just need to make sure that beginning bit is nicely sorted. There were a couple of runs in this bit that I'm not going to rehearse today, but sopranos, it was your one at the top of 38. Make sure you thought about that before next week, please. And tenors, it's the end of your one in the middle of page 39 that needs a bit of care. Anyway, here's the end of page 40. In fact, let's sing from letter E at 52. Letter E at bar 52. Remain standing. It means you have to stand for approximately 2 minutes. I timed it while I was listening to it earlier. It's not a long time, I promise. And I think it looks a bit silly, sitting and standing halfway through a chorus, if you don't really need it. So the alto goes, and then we don't need to faff around working out where to stand on page 45. So on page 45, we're going to go from 101. And sopranos, you will be ready for the page turn. Could you just take bar 116 again, and could you be careful of your crotchets at the ends of phrases? Remember, in compound time, a crotchet is 2/3 of a beat, not 1 beat. They are different things. End of 116, here's your chord.
Say unto the cities of Judah, behold your God. Behold, the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. O thou that tellest of times.
Spaces. O thou that tellest. 1 and 2. That's the one. Yeah, be really careful about that punctuation. Yeah, I could do that one more time. Here's 121, 121, and the quaver before that. The glory of, and 1, and go.
The glory of the Lord.
I'm literally hearing no G, and I'm less than a metre away from somebody. 1, and.
The glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. O thou that tellest the times of Zion, say unto the cities of Judah, behold, behold, the glory of the
And then, dum. At which point, our bass soloist, who is Alex Bolton, for those of you who are interested, is singing the next 2 movements. And then at the bottom of 54, you will need to stand once more. Dum, 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 dum. Stay sitting for a moment and be nice. Sing them straight. Won't do it all. Just semi-quaver runs to keep you guessing. no straggling S's from that and carrying 4, 2, 3.
Unto us a son is given. Unto us a son is given.
For unto us a child is born.
For unto us a child is born.
Unto us a son is given. Unto us a son is given.
Unto us a child is born.
Unto us a child is born.
Unto us a son is given. Unto us a son is given. Unto us
A son is given.
a son is given.
And the government shall be upon his shoulder.
And the government shall be upon his shoulder. And the government shall be upon his shoulder. And his name shall be called Wonderful.
Cool, great, that's fine. So our points from last time, whenever you get the word name, as in bar 32, we were trying to make sure we don't close that off so the sound keeps growing. Shoulder and his name shall be called. Other than that, it's not too bad. Still work to be done on your semi-paper runs. So on page 64, you will sit at the end of that movement. We are doing the short version of the Pastoral Symphony. And then, while soprano gets up and starts to make some noises, we're at page 67 now. And you need to stand at the beginning of movement 16, because you are suddenly the multitude of the heavenly host. So you need to make yourself known. So as soon as I begin number 16, which is and suddenly, not where the soprano sings, when the orchestra begins, but that's where you need to try and stand, so that we're ready for the following movement. We will practice that. Yes. Do you mind trying some of this? 15? Can we just do the end of 15? Because I need the down. So, can we go from 6? Let's go from bus 6. The previous one. 15. Yeah. 4 to you. Take all the sharps. 4 to you is born this day in the city of David, a Saviour, which is Christ the Lord. No, that's a false sense of security. There's a lot of time after the Earth before the next entry, first time round. There's not that time round. So again, and please, thinking ahead. I can't see many oranges. I want to see orange, not white. Orange, not white. Pay attention. Board. 1, 2, and.
And peace on
So, end of that page, can you sit and turn to page 86 is the next one you will need. So our soprano continues and sings Rejoice, Rejoice, Rejoice. And then after Rejoice, we come straight back in with His Yoke is Easy, okay? So you need to be aware, particularly those of you who are well versed in Messiah, that there is a cut. Dom, dom, dom. Right, I'll have a quick sing through this, you can stay sitting. So here is page 86. We will stand and look forward. Surprisingly, his yoke is not that easy.
His yoke is
You can sort of fall asleep once you've done part 1, surprise. It's fine. Just need to hold the ball for the first part.
His yoke is easy, his burden is light, his burden is light.
You remember now, his burden is light. His burden is light. Imagine one of those sort of things that goes round and round in a circle.
His yoke is easy, his burden is light, his burden is
His yoke is His burden is light. His burden is light.
before you sing this last page. Not, oh, it's been such hard work so far. I'll be glad to get to the loo. Which is kind of, it wasn't too bad. We just need to get a sparkle evening. Good. We'll do that each week, I think, because it's probably one of the more difficult ones. I want to just notch the speed up ever so slightly. You be careful on your easy vowel, that you're changing your notes with your vocal cords and not with your mouth. It's happening a little bit sometimes. Anyway, and then at the end, you stay standing because there's probably clapping and people leaving, and then we'll sort it out on the day when there's a sensible moment to leave. Good, that's part 1, 35 minutes. Excellent. Part 2. So similar drill for part 2. We'll come on. I'll probably make you stand straight away rather than doing any bowing or anything like that, so we can get on with it. So we will stand at the beginning of this, which I need to indicate. Sopranos, first of all, those two long notes. So in bar 19, 20, 21, could you make sure that that grows for about the first 5 beats of it, and then just a bit of a diminuendo with the lower voices for that one. However, for the second one in bar 24 and 25, could you keep crescendoing all the way to the end of that one? A bit more emphatic. We're just slightly losing text sopranos. Take us home. About a month ago, you were all doing the text much better than any other voice part. They've kind of caught up with you and you've slid slightly. Kind of get back on top, that would be next time. Just for me, the ones you need to be careful of are in bar 12, that we're getting softer at that cadential point. Yeah, so sopranos, it's things like in 14, I didn't really hear the difference between world and of. Sin of the world, of the world. And the other one is the upbeat into bar 16. I want that noticeably softer than what's just happened. So we've got somewhere to grow to again, which you all did that time, and I'm sure you will do on the day as well. He says. Fine. I was going to say something else, which I've forgotten, so we'll move on. Then our alto does his final offering of the evening, and then he gets to sit and listen to the last hour. And he is despising, and we are also doing pages 96 and 97. However, at the end of page 97, we will continue straight on over the page. So you can cross out where it says DC, and we will turn the page and go straight into surely. So that's your warning about that. Dun, 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 dun. I'll make sure I send this in an email to you, so don't worry too much if you haven't got it all today. Surely. So after that, we stand. This is the long chunk of standing, because we need to stand all the way until the end of page 121. Apologies in advance. My suggestion to you is that during the interval, you find a place to sit, and you do some sitting rather than nattering, so that you don't moan that I've made you stand up for too long in the concert. Because there is one priority, and that is not, unless you're raising money or something with someone important, that's fine, you can do that. But otherwise, sit down, have a rest, or as I've put it in my copy, chill. Yes. So, yeah, we'll do that now. So, be prepared. Could we just have the cadence? So it goes, this is fun. Page 97, everyone. From shame and spitting.
The just
Everyone to his own way. Oh, we like sheep have gone astray. We have everyone to his own way. Oh, we like sheep have gone astray. We have everyone to his own way. We have turned it, everyone to his own way. We have turned it, everyone to his own way. Oh, we like sheep. Oh, we like sheep have gone astray. Everyone to his own way.
Last line. Maybe see the orange, please. Orange. 1, 2, 3. All they that see laugh to scorn. Basically, ready? And shake their heads, da 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 da, saying.
Let him deliver him, if we delight in him. He trusted in God that he would deliver him. Let him deliver him.
massive breath for lower 3 parts after delight. And if it wasn't a breath, it was a gap anyway. Good to go from top of the page, dead on. Right, if 3, 4, so 56. 3, 4, go. Sing for it. Have a seat. We do sit at that point. And then the mood changes completely. Right, let's just talk from the end backwards a moment. So that movement, you need to be mocking all the way through. You need to replenish your mocking every page. Because at the moment it's lasting for your first entry, and then you're looking worried. Rather than derisory. Okay? I think I'm pretty sure the point I made when we first learned this is if you have lots of text, then you need to make sure that comes to the forefront. If you have a long melisma, where you have lots of notes on the same syllable, then you need to kind of get out of the way and just let it happen. So altos, you have quite a few moments, don't you, where... what was I thinking of? Yeah, things like in bar 15, 1-5. You just finish on if he did like it, and then you try again. If he did that. So that sort of thing I need to hear coming nice and clearly to me. Great, a couple of things to sort out next time. Previous movement was pretty good. Could you find bar 20 on page 107? 107. Bar 20. Tenors and basses. You forgot about our little fading away at the end of the stray here. There was a definite kick at the end of this one. I've gone astray. Just remember for the last 2 or 3 beats, an obvious diminuendo. And from that moment on, everyone forgot. So if you forget, then everyone can't forget anymore. So sopranos and altos, just mark that in over that page turn. Where are the next examples? So tenors is for you in the middle of page 109. Just make sure that one dies away. Followed swiftly by the sopranos and basses in bar 40. Make sure that dies away, draw a little diminuendo in. I'm sure Mr. Handel won't mind. Then the next time after that is in bars 56, 57 and following. We've all got an example there, so if we find it and diminuendo it. 56, 57 around there somewhere. And that's the last one. Other than that, that was a very creditable effort at that movement, so well done. Previous one. Sorry, I'm going quickly now. I'll wait till you stop drawing. So, page 102. Again, we got the character at the start, but we didn't keep it going for the entire movement. I know it's difficult, but it's what we need to do to make it music. And with his stripes. I just want to do each of those entries just to make sure the notes are bang in the middle. Just have the first 4 soprano notes. Just the first 4 soprano notes. Okay, so sing that for me nice and confidently in the right character. Try and get the notes bang in the middle. And with his stripes, 3, and go.
And with his stripes.
Yeah, it's better. One more time. 3, and.
And with his stripes.
Well done. Alto, sing your first 4 notes. That's it. 3, and 6.
And with his stripes.
Yeah, not too bad. Tenors, sing your first 4. And 4, 1.
And with his stripes.
Is the first note. And 3, 4, go.
And with his stripes.
It's too smooth. and not harsh enough. And with his stripes, and go.
And with his stripes.
Thank you. Basses, here's your first four notes. His stripes. 3, 4, go.
And with his stripes.
That's a bit too. Oh. And with his stripes. A bit more finesse. 4, go.
And with his stripes.
Now just dial the sort of anger up to 10. 4, go.
And with his stripes.
Sopranos, here's your next one. The high one. And with his stripes. 3, 4, go. Tenors, next one, 16. Three, 4, go.
And with his stripes.
Go back to your smooth, I want to be a tenor. Don't be an English tenor, be a... And with 4, go.
And with his stripes.
So we need to hear it every single time, poking through the texture. It's like, no, I'm going to nail him to the cross this time. So you've got to compete. Let's try this movement again. From the beginning. Top of 102, and see if we can make that come across to me really clearly each time. 3, 4.
And with his stripes.
Smooth. Yeah, carry on.
And with his stripes we are healed. And with his stripes we are healed.
And with his stripes.
And with his stripes we are healed.
And with his
Fine. Well, the temptation now is to think, ooh, we're in a happy major key now. We're not in a happy major key, we're in a really grumpy, angry major key. Okay, so don't get lulled into, right, so we still need to keep that going as much as we can. Tenors need to work on the notes beginning of 16. That was a little bit wild, but I'll let you do that in your own time. Here is bar 16, everyone please. From where the tenors start, then alto shortly afterwards. 3, 4. You're doing it really nicely on the last two of those 4. And with, set it up, 4, 1.
And with his stripes.
This was good once we sorted out the first word. Get you in the right mood. When we get to the end of page 99 and on the page turn, it is going to be slightly softer, but could it still be a strong, soft singing rather than it sounds a bit scared? He was blue. Sort of mournful for that second bit rather than angry. Surely. And then he was wounded, he was bruised. If we could have some rolled out on the bruising, that would make that word a bit clearer. Or else he's going down the pub. Who's it? Tenors, can you enjoy everything from bar 21 to the end, sorry, 20 to the end of the movement? And can you enjoy it without breathing again? The chastisement of peace was upon him. I don't want to hear any gaps. You can individually breathe, but not as a section. Great. Let's have a break there.